everyone, it's Feeding Dragon. After last time, in these 2 weeks, I had ink 6 more pen and ink combination, which I really cannot wait to show you. So let's get to it. The first pen and ink combination that I have here is the only shimmer ink that I have currently in this lineup. I have this Dominant Industry Fairy Forest in my BENU Talisman Peacock ore in Mediium's mid nib. I noticed that these past few months I had felt less love to this BENU Talisman. I don't know why. Maybe just because it has a regular medium nib, which maybe the current Feeding Dragon feels that it's not as exciting as my other pens that I have in my collection. Although whenever I ink this pen, it's so good. The nib, snip nib for me is very special. It's very wet, it's gliding smoothly, and it just handles shimmer very well. While I'm not brave enough to put my shimmer inks inside my Yowo nib pen with snip nib, or well, I only have one pen with this particular nib, which is this BENU Talisman Peacock ore. I always don't need to worry about it clogging or anything. And this ink by itself, the Dominant Industry Fairy Forest, is quite the shimmer ink. So the shimmer color is quite confusing for my eyes. Sometimes it looks yellow, sometimes it looks pinkish or lilacish. I'm not really sure. I should have checked the website beforehand, like what's the real color of the shimmers. But what I can say for sure that this ink is so cute. Cause I am not really a shimmer kind of person. I don't really look at the shimmers when I write. But whenever I tilt my paper and I see the shimmers popping off here and there on the paper, I'm like, oh yeah, this is a shimmer ink. Color-wise, in writing, if we don't look at the shimmer, it is very close to Shanghai Stationery Dollar Bird, but the rest of the cards here don't have any shimmer in it. The next pen and ink combination is the happiest in this currently ink. I have Diamine Coral inside my Pilot Kakuno curl. This one is with a curl nib with a really cute ribbon on it. Although now that I see this nib, it's not really the cleanest. I think I dip it or something. That's why there's something on top of the nib. But that's okay and it does not really hinder the performance at all. I really should ink my Pilot Kakuno more often. I'm even thinking of inking the Pilot Kakuno curl and the Papa, the other one that I have, maybe even every time. Because writing with the Pilot Kakuno is just so wonderfully nice. I always smile, it's so reliable, it's just so nice. It really helps that the ink that I put here is the Diamine Coral, so it is one of the more normal looking Diamine ink. This one have a pretty heavy sheen, you can probably see it on this swatch card. So even on the writing, well, this one is using the Kakimori press nib, and also in the blob over here it has the yellowish sheen. Well, I'm using the fine nib, so it's not really as prominent, but I can definitely see the sheen popping up here and there on my writing, and it just makes this ink creates happiness on my pages. I got this ink from the inksample.nl exploring box in December. When I opened the Diamine Infant Ambience, I also opened this Diamine Coral on the same exact day. It's a total coincidence that both of them are Diamine, both of them are on this coral color, but the Ambience has shimmer, while Diamine Coral is just a standard ink. They're pretty similar to each other, so it's quite the surprise when I opened both of them. It's yellower compared to Pilot Iroshizuku Fuyugaki, and it's pinker compared to Tashiya Daidai. The next one, this might be the most disappointing out of all 6 pens and inks that I'm bringing to you today. I have journaled this pumping inside my Sailor Pro Gear Imperial Black with medium 21 karat gold nib. It's black coated nib. When I'm writing this third entry, I just realized that I tried to write in script writing for the name of the pen, but in the end, starting from the second entry onwards, I just write with my usual style. So about this combination, I know that my Sailor Pro gear is more on the drier side, so usually when I try to ink it, I would opt for a darker color or a weather ink. But this time, I don't know what's in my mind. I thought it would be a good idea to put this journal, this pump ink inside this pen, and I didn't have the greatest experience with this combination, unfortunately. I think the journal is pumping is more on the drier side. So when I wrote with it, and in some paper even, it was so light that I felt the deep urge to just clean the pen and unink it immediately. But to my surprise, when I'm writing with this Yusari paper, it feels wet enough. So I don't know what really happened with this combination. I may need to wait a bit again and see if it really is as dry as I thought, just like when I was writing in Midori paper, or I can give this combination a second chance and write with it more. Ink by itself is a brown. It's a weird color. If I see the name, I would assume that it's more on the orangey side, but when I write with it, it's more on the brownish side, and it's a bit pinkish even. If I put something pink with pumpkin side by side, it's not really a pink. Now that I mention it might be it is pinkish. Now I see that on the name it's pumping. It can be a wordplay of pumpkin, the Halloween pumpkin, pumping, like the energetic pumping, and then it can also be pumping, like the color pink. Okay. I'll take that. And out of the rest of the cards here, journal this pumping have a tiny bit of pink in it. Okay, after the disappointing pen and ink combination, this pen and ink gives me joy. I have journaled this pink by ink inside my Opus 88 pumpkin with CY cursive smooth italic nib. Now that I think about it, I didn't really plan this well, but it will be a good combination if I put the journal this pumping inside my Opus 88 pumpkin. It's way too late right now, and I don't normally re-ink an ink in such a short time, so it may get its chance next year. So if I hope the camera catch it. The journal displaying is more on the brownish side when it is wet, and then it slowly turns into this lovely pinkish vintage color when it's dry. I don't really know how to describe this color other than it's a brown that is also pinkish. So maybe this one is also like a brown pink type of ink. It does not really have any complexity on its writing, so it's a shading ink with proper lighter and darker shade. But other than that, it's a brownish pink. And with this CY cursive smooth italic, I think whenever I ink this pen and whenever I record it on this channel, I always mention how much I love this pen and ink combination, and it's just so good. I can recommend you getting this cursive smooth italic if you have the chance to meet CY in pen shows. Out of all the swatch cards that I have here, journal display ink is not similar to any of these colors, so it is a bit more grayish compared to Herbandrul the Anchor. It's more brownish compared to Kobe milk chocolate. It's more brownish as well compared to Tashiya Utamaru Ume Murasaki. The next one is something that I have committed. So I have this journal this tea time inside my Pilot Custom 823 with medium 14 karat gold nib. I'm the type of person who usually just feels like 1/3 or at the maximum half of the pen body of vacuum filler, but this time I don't know what was in my mind that I feel like I think it's two-thirds or even three-fourths of the pen body. I'm the type that gets bored if I use one ink for a long time, so I'm really curious how long I will have this pen ink and how fast or how long I will get bored with it. The journal this time is quite a unique shade of green. It's green, but it's also grayish, so it's not quite bright type of green. You may think that it has some complexity on its writing, but when I really look closely, there are not really that much complexity, but indeed on the darker part of the writing, it leans more on the yellowy side. I love writing with this ink, although I think it is more on the drier side, just like how the pen usually perform when when I'm using the dryer ink. It is not really as fun as I thought it would be, but with Tomoe River Sunset paper, I think I will be okay. But on other paper, it does not feel as nice. So I don't know. Maybe I will unink this pen as more sooner than I thought. But we will see. It's just been some days that I ink this, so I need to wait a bit. So yeah, as for color comparison, journal this tea time is more on the grayish side compared to the rest of the cards that I have here. I thought in writing that the journalist tea time will be similar to Troublemaker C class, but I see now that it is not really is. Although my one of my pen pal wrote with the Troublemaker C class on her letter, and I sort of compare that writing with this journalist tea time, and they're pretty similar. So maybe it's just a matter of paper as well, as these are white background paper, while for letters I use the ivory paper. And the last of my currently ink today is Journal This Blue Tea inside my Pilot Custom Heritage 91 with medium 14 karat but sort of Naginata-ish nib in it. I had the greatest time with this Journal This Blue Tea. It's a blue. It looks vintage. It looks gray, so it's not a real blue. It dries down from a warm blue to a cooler blue. It is also a shading ink. I just love how calming this blue is. I don't know what else to say about this combination other than it's good. And color comparison wise, the closest colors that I can find on my collections are the ones from the blue black family. It is very close to Sailor Blue Black, although I can see that Journal This Blue Tea have this little green tint to it compared to the Sailor Blue Black. It also have like a pinkish shade a bit in it that the Blue Black does not have. And I think the Blue Tea is also more on the warmer blue-gray side compared to Plican Edilsen Tanzanite, Montblanc Midnight Blue, and Tassia Auguro. I think out of this 6 pen and ink combination, my highlight would be the Diamine Coral inside Pilot Kakuno Girl with Fine Nib, Journal This ink inside my Opposited Pumpkin with CY Cursive Smooth Italic, and the Journal This Blue Tea inside my Pilot Custom Heritage 91. Out of the 10 journal this ink bottles that I bought last month, only 2 more left that I haven't put inside my pen. What do you think of all these currently ink? Is there any of these inks that are similar to the ink that you have in your collection? Let me know and see you on the next one. Bye bye!